And this guest, she just lights up the room. And I'm glad that she's here with us. I'm going to let her introduce herself, and then we'll go and ask some questions and find more about her organization. So,
thank you, Reverend Blue. My name is Ann McCaffrey, and I'm the president and CEO at People Inc. And I've been with People Inc. just about a year and a half now. I come from a background in behavioral health, local government, and hospital administration. So kind of happy to bring all of those background strengths together for People Inc. and the great work that we do in the community.
Thank you, Ann. We met. It was another function that we were at, and I met Ann as we were leaving the Delavan Ryder Center. As we were in the parking lot, her and Kevin were walking together, and we had been talking about meeting and having a meeting together and just sharing what our organizations do. And it's very important that we have community partners, community stakeholders. Where is People Inc. located?
So our main office is on North Forest in Williamsville, but we have locations and services all over Western New York. So we have group homes serving people with developmental disabilities and intellectual disabilities. We have day programs, and we have rehabilitation services, PT, OT, and speech, and that's located at Hurdle in the city of Buffalo. But we have services located all over Western New York. We're also into Rochester now, and I'd be happy to talk in a moment about employment opportunities and where those opportunities are.
Okay, excellent. Now, you have a location on Jefferson.
We do. So if I can give a little bit of background on People Inc., we started as services and group homes for people with disabilities. And over time, we really got very skilled at opening housing opportunities in the community. So not too long ago, we had the opportunity to develop affordable housing on Jefferson, right in East Buffalo. And we opened that a few years ago, and we are so pleased to have such a wonderful presence in East Buffalo, where we have 90 people living in safe, affordable housing right in the community.
Excellent, excellent. And we need organizations like yours to be a part of the fabric of our community. You helped a lot of people, and that's one of the goals that I know People Inc. is involved in, is helping people, helping even those with disabilities. So it's more important that we have these, I'm going to call you a tenant agency, located in our community on Jefferson. And it's a very good opportunity for individuals. If you don't know more about People Inc., we want to make sure that we introduce this to you so you have an opportunity. There may be individuals in your family who are in need of assistance, and this is the perfect opportunity, one of the tenant organizations that can help. You mentioned before, what employment opportunities are there for our listening audience, and how can they apply?
Sure. So People Inc. is a large employer in Western New York. We have about 4,500 employees. So very large. Over time, we've grown and grown. And really, we believe we have great employment opportunities for people who may be listening and family members, whoever may be listening. So we have, as I mentioned, we have group homes. So those are homes in the community scattered throughout Western New York, and we also have day program services. And there's a position at all of those sites that's called a direct support professional. So this is somebody who's providing care to people living in the home and attending the day program services. And they can be dispensing medications, they can be helping with feeding and mealtime, they can be helping with daily hygiene, they can support recreational activities and meaningful fun integration into the community. So those are kind of the types of work that are entailed for a direct support professional. And we're hiring people with a high school diploma. So if you've got a high school diploma, you like working with people, if you have compassion for people who need some extra support, and I kind of liken it to, if you think back to your own family or people in your community, if you were the one to help out when you had a parent who might have been sick or a sibling who came out of the hospital and you were there to care for them, it's a similar function. You're really there to provide that care and support and anything that the person needs to really be integrated to achieve their highest potential. So that's the work that's needed. It is a regulated area, so we do training and we have lots of opportunity for advancement too. So we really encourage people, if you start at People Inc., we want to have you work with us your whole career. There are opportunities to go into management, there are opportunities to go into nursing, and we're really looking at a more robust opportunity for physical therapy, occupational therapy, social work, where really people can start their employment with People Inc. and stay for a lifetime. That's our goal.
Excellent. It sounds like there's a lot of opportunities there.
For sure.
Especially when you mention upward mobility, because sometimes people are locked into a position and they have desires to go and have upward mobility, but that's not an opportunity for some vocations. But this one is. So what are the actual positions, naming of the positions that you have?
It's called a direct support professional. That's the one where we have the most openings at any given time. So we call it a DSP, a direct support professional. And it's those duties that I mentioned with mealtime and transportation and all of that. We also have many nursing openings. So if any of your listeners are nurses and want to work in an environment where it's very rewarding, there's not the constant turnover of patients that you might see in other healthcare settings. So you really establish really rewarding relationships with people, get to know them for the duration of the time that you're working there. It's not constant turnover of a new person every day. You really get to build some pretty remarkable relationships with people who are relying on those nurses. So we have nursing openings, we have direct support professional openings. I think we might have some site manager openings, but I would encourage any of your listeners to go to our website. It's people-inc.org. and take a look at our website and the opportunities that are on there. We also have facility techs. We are always in need of folks who are good with facilities and taking care of our properties, and they can do a variety of activities at those sites, but they're doing everything from changing the air filters to painting to some light housekeeping and taking care of bathrooms and all of that. But facility techs are also an important position at our agency.
That's very good to know, because we have a lot of people who may not have may not have the certificates to do that type of work. Is there any type of training that can help people get educational opportunities?
We can look into that. I think right now we've got people in the facility tech positions, and we certainly encourage future development. We don't have anything established right now, but I think it's something that we're looking into.
Excellent. It makes it more viable and give people more opportunities. Now, there's a project that you guys are working on. My pastor, Pastor Gillison, is working with you guys. Talk a little bit about that project.
We love this project. I'm so excited about it. So we've partnered with Mount Olive and Pastor Gillison and Rob Moutry, who I've known for a long, long time, to do senior housing at Mount Olive. So if you're over near Mount Olive Baptist Church and you see the construction happening behind the church, that's us. That's People Inc. working together with the Mount Olive Development Corporation to build 65 units of senior housing. And I know in my conversations with Pastor Gillison and Rob that their phones are ringing every day with people saying, when are you going to open? So we are thrilled for this. It's going to open in the fall of 2025, about a year from now. The construction is running right on schedule, and we had an opportunity to walk through it not too long ago, and it's moving right along. It's going to be 65 separate apartments for seniors 65 and above. And I think it's just great that it's right there next to the church, close to other services nearby. ECMC is not too far away. So to know that we're really adding great housing in the community is something we're very proud of.
And I want to thank you for that. I believe that's the only housing complex in that area. And you guys are making great headway. You have great partners with Mount Olive in Buffalo. And I'm looking forward to the ribbon cutting for the opening. I drove by many times, and it just seems that they are like bees. They are working, and that project is coming along very well. So I would encourage you, listeners, to go by and see the progress that's being done on East Delavan and Grider and Mount Olive Way. To look at that project, it's going real well. So we want to thank you for that. Um, Saving the best, I'm not going to say for last, and we're going to continue to talk. Let's talk about the Jefferson Avenue projects and your involvement with the Buffalo Urban League, Urban Land Institute study, and the Buffalo NAACP. Let's just look at that. I know we were looking for community partners to look at what else can be happening on Jefferson. Again, we want to thank the mayor for all the work that they're doing on the Jefferson area, East Buffalo area, East Side. It's still, those names are still there. It hasn't been designated one particular name, but there's a lot of work that we want to partner not only with you but with the city on. So I know we came to you, but what was your decision making in being a part of this?
Yeah, I'm happy to talk about that. So, we have Brad Watts, who I think so many people know and has been a strong leader of People Inc. for many, many years, and Kevin Horrigan, who you know as well. And I think their close ties to you and the NAACP, and knowing that we had strong ties to Jefferson Avenue, when that request came in, we looked at it and said, does it make sense for us to be part of the solution for the community? And we say, yes, it does. I think there are really kind of three tenets of how we impact a community. One is employment, as I mentioned. One is housing, and one is services to people with disabilities and other services. And I think the future of Jefferson Avenue, whatever version the study takes and the outcomes are, if it impacts housing, services, or employment, we want to be part of that conversation. Mm-hmm. And that's why, when we looked at it, we really said, this is totally in our wheelhouse. This is something that we feel like whatever the outcome is, if we're able to advance the community in any way, shape, or form, sign us up. We want to be part of it. So that's, we really looked at the request and said this makes sense to us.
Thank you. I mean, it's an important topic of discussion. My saying, many hands make light work. And then the partnerships that you have can help make things go a little further. Then if I have $1, you have $1, we have $2, versus one just spending that $1 and not making an opportunity to advance or to provide all of the needs that we see abroad. This is something that we want to continue to go forward in the progress of the community, and it's important that we have those collaborations, those partnerships. It's important that everyone comes together and look at how things can be helped or assist in this community. So it's important that we look at what else we can do to make things work. One thing I want to ask is that since you've been the president and director and the CEO, the head of this organization, what are some of your goals? What's driving you to be a part of this organization and for you to work the work that you have to do?
Yeah, I think one of my goals is to really make sure that every service we provide is top-notch to every person every day. And we've had a ton of growth over the years, and that's how we got to this size. And I'm very appreciative for that growth. I think it's ensured that we've had a huge impact throughout the region in so many ways. And I think this is a time for us to take a look back and make sure that we're staffing well, that we're able to provide the best services possible, and at the same time continue to look at future partnerships and how do we really advance so many people's lives across the region. So it's kind of a combination of inward focus of making sure we're doing the best we can, and then those outward partnerships too, to make sure that we're still advancing other opportunities and development as we can.
Excellent. Now in your Jefferson site, is there any other future things that you're going to be incorporating in there? Any type of job training programs that the community may have access access to?
So we don't have that defined yet, but it is something that we've had some internal discussions about, of how do we leverage our footprint on Jefferson for employment and training. Right now we have our main employment and training site on Elmwood Avenue in the city of Buffalo. And it's near Channel 4, so it's pretty accessible. But we have talked about, are there other opportunities for training sites and, HR recruitment and other, in East Buffalo perhaps. So we don't have that defined yet. But I do think, having our flagship location on Jefferson enabled the community to have additional services right there too. So there's a child care center, there's a bank, there's the relationship with the Buffalo Urban League. So I think it was our building enabled us to leverage additional services for the community right there. And we're proud of that and hopeful that we can continue that expansion.
Excellent. Because now, can people come and just visit the site, visit the Jefferson site? Or how can people have access, or just for inquiry minds that may want to see what's going on?
So it is an apartment building. So the tenants there have a key fob and it is locked. So it's not just, people can't just walk into it. And we do have a waiting list. So if someone was interested in finding out about the potential to move in there, they would need to reach out to People Inc., our housing. I think the email is housing@peopleinc.org. So somebody could reach out that way and get on the waiting list if they were interested. They could also reach out if they were looking for a tour, to tour one of the locations. But I do know, it is a locked facility because it's where people live, and it's not just open to the public. And I think the other services would be applicable. If someone's interested in childcare, they can reach out to the childcare provider and banking services and whatnot. But it is, you can certainly drive by. You can see that it's a beautiful new building right in the community, serving about 90 people that are living there every day.
I drive by it. It is a beautiful building. And it's a welcome breath of fresh air to have development in that area, which is needed for the area. So I look at that and say, there's a lot of hope and possibilities. There's a lot of things going on. I grew up in that area. I used to work in that area. I mentioned that my uncle, Ted Banks, owned a collision shop and a school. So he had free labor from me. And he also used to own the mobile gas station on East Ferry and Jefferson. And my other uncle later on owned the Amico gas station, which was on the other side of East Ferry and Jefferson. So growing up and working in that area, and seeing the Apollo Theater when it was the actual Apollo Theater, going down to see movies in that area is hopeful. All of the development and the things that are going on is very hopeful for Jefferson, and I am glad that People Inc. is an anchor tenant in the area. It brings a lot of hope to the community. Also, the apartments. Wow, the apartments are spectacular. So for those who are on the waiting list, I hope you'll be able to get in. But they did an excellent job in their development in the building and making sure that all of the amenities. Now, how many bedrooms are there? 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms, and then what's covered in the apartments?
There are not 3 bedrooms. There are 1s, and I think there might be some 2s in there. But yes, mostly 1s and then some 2s, not 3 bedrooms. So, I don't have the details in terms of like what's included, but I believe, it is affordable. So it's based on people's income, and that rent is established. It is a regulated rent that, we're part of. It was tax credit funding that helped create the apartment construction. So it's all set by the state, and then we work through that. And I should mention this, a project like that takes so many partners to really make it happen. The city of Buffalo is a partner. New York State HCR, we have a great partnership with somebody named Lenny Skrill, who's, everybody knows Lenny. Lenny is like making it happen. Dave Pollock from CSS Construction, and just, really took a lot of partners to make sure that we could pull this together, and we're so pleased that it's open.
Excellent, excellent. So one of the things that I want to just share is that when you have community partners, it makes a stronger community. Those that you can call on, those who may be able to provide any needs or know where to get the helps that you may need. So People Inc. has been one of those agencies that if they can't meet your need, they know where to send you to get your needs met. And that's what it's all about. That's what many hands make light work. If I can't help you, I know who can. And in those services that they provide, affordable housing, different programming for individuals that may have disabilities, also medical, and the job opportunities that People Inc. offers, I think is excellent for our community. Senior housing, all of that, home health care aides. So speak about the home health care aides. How can someone become a home health care aide?
Oh, great point. Yeah, so we have home health. It's primarily nursing. So again, we need more nurses there. But we have home health care nurses who are going out to people's homes to provide that home health support in their home while they're recovering from an illness or they need some in-home nursing support. So again, that's very important. That is primarily for people with disabilities. So that's kind of been our niche. And I should also say, back to the Jefferson Housing, for example, I think one of the reasons we really saw an important segue for us to get into housing was the lack of accessible housing for people in wheelchairs and with disabilities. So that's just been a main focus for us, and many of the units at Jefferson are accessible for people in wheelchairs.
Okay, excellent. Now, you mentioned nursing. Do they have to be a RPN or a RN, or LPN or an L?
Right.
RN.
So we have both openings. RN, we definitely have RN openings, but we have if somebody has an LPN and is looking for employment too, they should reach out to us because I believe we have some openings there as well.
So how can individual families who need that assistance, how can they apply?
They can call People Inc. They can go on our website and call the number that's listed, and we can connect them to services. If we can't, as you said earlier, if we can't provide the service, we'll connect you to someone who can.
Excellent, excellent. And that is peopleinc.org.
People-inc.org.
People-inc.org.
That's right.
So we want everyone to know that there are different helps that are out there. People Inc. is one of the agencies that can provide some helps. If they can't, they know other areas or resources that can. Now, you also have respite. Talk a little bit about your respite.
Sure, I'd be happy to. So for people with disabilities who are living with their families, there are times where the family member that's taking care of them maybe has to go away on vacation or go to a family wedding or go to a funeral, or maybe even that person is hospitalized for a period of time, and they're looking for some support during that period of absence. So we have respite services available. I will say it is, other agencies in the community used to provide it, and now we're the only one remaining. So it is a very sought after service. And we do have that location where we do have respite services available. We also do after-school respite, and students in school districts can get after-school programming through People Inc. And those are students, again, with disabilities, and we work with them after school while their parents either may be working or can't get to them yet.
Okay. Well, and thank you. People Inc. is a tenant organization. They have many different sites. They have one on Jefferson, and they also are working with the Mount Olive Baptist Church in senior housing. So I want to thank you for your time, and thank you for being on the NAACP Speaks. This is your host, Reverend Mark Blue. Listen, we're going to be doing a lot of voter registration, and our general meeting